What if the happiness you've been searching for isn't a distant dream, but a quiet truth already within you, waiting to be uncovered? In a world consumed by endless distractions, mounting stress, and the relentless pursuit of more, true peace can feel like a fleeting mirage. But what if the ancient wisdom of Buddhism, shared through the lens of daily Buddhist, holds the key to a life of serenity, balance, and profound joy? For centuries, these teachings have guided countless souls toward fulfillment, offering a path to rediscover what it means to truly live. In this video, we're unveiling 7 transformative secrets, plus a bonus insight, rooted in Buddhist philosophy that can help you break free from the chaos and awaken to a deeper sense of happiness. Pause for a moment right now and reflect. When was the last time you felt truly at peace? Not the fleeting rush of a perfect day, but a quiet, unshakable calm that radiates from within. Perhaps it was during a serene walk through a forest, the leaves whispering in the breeze, or a moment of laughter with someone dear, like when my friend Amina shared a heartfelt story over tea, reminding me of the beauty in simple connection. These moments are glimpses of the joy Buddhism teaches us to cultivate every day. Stay with us because these insights have the power to not only change how you live but how you feel. Starting today. Let's begin with the first secret, a practice so simple yet so profound. It's like a gentle sunrise illuminating the shadows of your mind. Gratitude is a quiet superpower, a lens that transforms how we see the world, much like a prism refracting light into a spectrum of colors that reveal beauty in the ordinary. It shifts our focus from what we lack to the abundance already present, like the soft glow of dawn after a long, restless night. Instead of fixating on what's missing, gratitude invites us to cherish the smallest blessings. The aroma of morning coffee as it swirls in your cup, the sound of rain tapping on your window like a gentle lullaby, or the warmth of a kind word from a colleague that lingers in your heart. This shift doesn't just make us feel more content. It equips us to face life's challenges with a heart full of positivity, as if we're carrying a lantern to guide us through the darkest moments. Take my friend Ravi, for example, a software engineer who once lived a life dictated by deadlines and endless ambition. He used to rush through his days, always chasing the next goal, barely noticing the world around him. But a health scare, a sudden fainting spell during a meeting, forced him to pause. That evening, sitting on his balcony, he noticed the way the sunset painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, a sight he'd overlooked for years. For the first time in a long while, he felt grateful just to be alive, to breathe, to witness the sky's quiet artistry. That moment sparked a habit. He began writing down 3 things he was thankful for each day, like the laughter of his daughter as she played in the park, a supportive text from a friend checking in, or the taste of his favorite homemade meal, a recipe passed down from his grandmother. Over time, Ravi's entire outlook shifted. He told me, "I used to think happiness was something I'd find later, but gratitude showed me it was here all along, hiding in plain sight." Gratitude isn't just a fleeting emotion. It's a practice that rewires your mind, much like tending to a garden ensures it blooms year after year. Research even supports this. Studies show that practicing gratitude can increase dopamine and serotonin levels, the brain's feel-good chemicals, fostering a natural sense of joy. You can start this practice today, and it's simpler than you might think. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect and jot down 3 things you're grateful for. They could be as simple as a refreshing breeze that cooled you on a hot afternoon, a meaningful conversation with a neighbor, or the comfort of your favorite song playing just when you needed it. But don't stop there. Take a moment to feel the gratitude in your body. Close your eyes, place a hand on your heart, and let the warmth of appreciation fill you, as if you're basking in the glow of a gentle sunrise. This habit doesn't just bring fleeting moments of joy, it transforms your entire perspective. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of wonder, noticing the way the sunlight dances on your walls, or the sound of birds chirping outside your window. Over time, this practice becomes a lens through which you see the world, making moments of happiness more vivid, your resilience to stress stronger, and your life brighter with each passing day. Gratitude is like a seed. Plant it, nurture it, and watch it grow into a tree of joy that shades you through life's storms. So tonight, before you sleep, grab a notebook or even your phone, and write down 3 things that brought you joy today. Let gratitude be your guide, and you'll find that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate, moment by moment. Our relationships are a sacred garden, a source of happiness and meaning that Buddhism holds dear, a space where the flowers of joy bloom through care and attention. Strong bonds with family, friends, and community create a foundation for a joyful life, much like the roots of a tree anchor it against the fiercest winds. When we invest in these connections with care, understanding, and support, we not only enrich our lives but also uplift those around us, creating a ripple effect of love that extends far beyond our immediate circle. Consider Lila, a young woman I met at a mindfulness retreat in a serene mountain valley. She had drifted apart from her brother, Arjun, after a misunderstanding years ago over a family decision that left them both hurt. Lila carried the weight of that rift like a heavy stone in her heart, but during the retreat, she learned the Buddhist principle of compassion, seeing others' actions through a lens of understanding rather than judgment. Inspired, she decided to reach out. She called Arjun, not to rehash the past, but to simply listen and share a memory of their childhood. Laughing together at a festival, their faces lit by the glow of lanterns. That small act of presence, of choosing connection over resentment, opened the door to healing. They now talk weekly, sharing stories of their lives, and Lila says, "I didn't realize how much I missed him until I let go of my pride. It was like finding a piece of myself I'd lost." Their story reminds us that relationships, like gardens, need tending. Sometimes we must pull the weeds of misunderstanding to let love grow again. To strengthen your relationships, be fully present, as if you're sitting by a still lake, noticing every ripple and reflection. Put away distractions, silence your phone, close your laptop, and listen with an open heart, truly hearing the words and emotions behind them. Show gratitude for those in your life, perhaps by telling a friend how much their support means to you or thanking a family member for their unwavering presence. Small gestures can deepen your bonds, like a thoughtful message to check in, a shared meal where you savor both the food and the company, or a moment of laughter that lingers in your memory like a warm melody. And when conflicts arise, as they inevitably will, approach them with compassion and a willingness to forgive. Buddhism teaches us that no one is perfect, and holding on to resentment is like carrying a hot coal. It burns only you. Instead, seek to understand, to heal, and to move forward together. Let's deepen this practice with a reflection. Think of someone in your life who brings you joy, a friend, a sibling, a mentor. When was the last time you truly connected with them, not just in passing, but in a way that left you both feeling seen and valued? I recall a moment with my friend Priya, who I hadn't spoken to in months. One evening I called her, and we talked for hours, reminiscing about our college days and sharing our dreams for the future. That conversation reminded me of the power of connection. It was like rediscovering a favorite book, its pages filled with memories and meaning. Reflect today. Is there someone who could use your care? Perhaps a friend you've lost touch with, or a loved one who'd appreciate a kind gesture, like a handwritten note or a shared walk in the park. By nurturing these connections, you'll cultivate a sense of belonging and joy that echoes through your life, a symphony of love that grows louder with each note of kindness you play. The present moment is a sacred space, the only place where life truly unfolds, like a single note in a melody that resonates with clarity and beauty. Yet we often find ourselves lost in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, as if we're trying to hold onto a river that's already flowed by or grasp one that hasn't yet arrived. Buddhism teaches that mindfulness, being fully present in the here and now, is the key to experiencing life deeply, a practice that allows us to step out of the mind's endless chatter and into the stillness of the moment. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we free ourselves from the weight of what was or what might be, creating space for clarity, peace, and joy, as if we're standing on a mountaintop, the world below fading into a quiet expanse. I remember a time when I was overwhelmed with worry about a looming decision, whether to take a new job that would upend my routine. My mind raced with what-ifs, and I felt trapped in a storm of doubt. One afternoon, I sat by a quiet stream, the water glistening under the sun, and decided to focus on the moment. I listened to the sound of the water, a gentle gurgle that seemed to whisper calm. I felt the coolness of the air on my skin, a soothing touch, and I noticed the rhythm of my breath, steady and grounding. For those few minutes, my fears melted away, and I felt a profound calm, as if the stream had washed away my worries. That's the power of mindfulness. It's like a lantern in the fog, guiding us back to the present where peace resides. You can practice mindfulness in everyday moments, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. When you eat, savor the flavors and textures. Notice the sweetness of a ripe fruit, the warmth of a bowl of soup, the crunch of fresh vegetables. When you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet, the rhythm of your steps, the sights around you. Perhaps the way the leaves rustle in the wind or the smile of a passerby. Even a simple breath can anchor you. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, and feel the air fill your lungs. Then exhale slowly, releasing tension like a leaf falling from a tree. Mindfulness also helps us manage emotions. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we let them pass like leaves floating down a river, preventing negative spirals. For example, when I feel frustration rising, I pause and name the emotion. I'm feeling frustrated, and watch it drift away, rather than letting it consume me. Start small. Take 5 minutes today to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and notice your surroundings. The sounds like the hum of a fan or the chirping of birds. The sensations like the softness of your chair. The sights like the play of light on your walls. Over time, this practice will become second nature, bringing a ripple of calm and happiness to your daily life. Let's try a deeper reflection. Think of a moment when you felt truly present. For me, it was watching a sunset with my sister, the sky ablaze with color, our laughter mingling with the evening breeze. We weren't thinking about tomorrow or yesterday, just that moment, pure and perfect. What's your moment? Hold it in your mind, feel its warmth, and let it remind you that the present is the only moment we truly have. Cherish it, as if it's a precious gem glowing in your hands. Perfection is a mirage that traps us in cycles of self-doubt and frustration, a shimmering illusion that promises happiness but delivers only discontent. Buddhism teaches us to let go of this unattainable goal, and instead focus on living a life of purpose and meaning, like a river that finds its path not by forcing its way through stone, but by flowing naturally around it. When we align our actions with our deepest values and passions, we find fulfillment that far outweighs the fleeting satisfaction of flawlessness, a fulfillment that feels like coming home to ourselves after a long journey. Think of Maya, a talented artist who spent years chasing perfection in her work, her studio filled with half-finished canvases she deemed not good enough. She'd scrap entire pieces if they weren't perfect, leaving her feeling empty, as if her creativity was a bird trapped in a cage of her own making. During a meditation class at a local community center, she learned to shift her focus to purpose, creating art that expressed her love for nature, a passion that had always grounded her. She began painting with intention, not perfection, letting her brushstrokes capture the wild beauty of a forest she'd once hiked through, its trees whispering secrets in the wind. She found joy in the process, in the act of creation itself, rather than the outcome. Her latest piece, a vibrant mural of that forest, now hangs in a community center, inspiring others to connect with nature. Maya told me, "I used to paint for approval, but now I paint for love, and that's made all the difference." Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It's about identifying what truly matters to you, what lights a fire in your soul. Ask yourself, what brings you joy? What makes you feel alive? For some, it's nurturing relationships, like spending an evening cooking with family, the kitchen filled with laughter and the scent of spices. For others, it's helping others, perhaps volunteering at a shelter, where a kind word can brighten someone's day. It could be pursuing knowledge, diving into books that expand your mind, or living with kindness, offering a smile to a stranger. Small, intentional acts can make a profound difference, like planting seeds that grow into a forest of meaning over time. The pursuit of perfection often stems from fear of failure, judgment, or inadequacy. But purpose frees us from that fear, embracing imperfection as a natural part of growth. Mistakes become opportunities to learn, to adapt, to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world. Reflect on your life. Are your actions aligned with what you value most? If not, make small changes, perhaps setting aside time to volunteer, revisiting a passion like writing or gardening, or being kinder to yourself when you stumble. I once struggled with perfection in my writing, agonizing over every word. But when I shifted to writing for the joy of expression, I found freedom. My journal became a space to explore, not to perform, and that shift brought me peace. Try this. Write down one thing you love doing, something that makes you feel connected to your true self. Then take one small step toward it this week. Maybe it's sketching a flower, calling a friend, or simply sitting in silence with your thoughts. By pursuing purpose, you'll free yourself from perfection's pressures and discover a more authentic, fulfilling path. A path that feels like walking barefoot on soft grass, grounded and free. Change is life's only constant, yet we often resist it, clinging to the familiar like a child clutching a favorite toy. Whether it's a new chapter, the end of a connection, or the passage of time, change can feel unsettling, like a sudden gust of wind that shakes the branches of our carefully tended lives. Buddhism teaches that impermanence is a natural part of life, a universal truth that flows through all things, and by embracing it, we transform change into a powerful opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Much like a caterpillar emerging from its cocoon, wings unfurling to meet the sky. When we resist change, we create suffering. Clinging to what was or fearing what might be keeps us from the present, as if we're trying to hold water in our hands, watching it slip through our fingers. But when we accept change as part of life's flow, we open ourselves to new possibilities, like a river carving a new path through the earth. I recall a time when I resisted a major life shift, leaving a familiar routine for something unknown, a move that required me to leave behind a community I'd grown to love. I was terrified, my mind racing with fears of loneliness and failure. But a Buddhist teacher I met during a retreat reminded me to ask, "What can I learn from this?" That question changed everything. The transition led me to new friendships, people who shared my love for meditation and nature, and a deeper understanding of myself. I discovered strengths I didn't know I had, like the courage to start over, and I learned to trust life's unfolding, even when the path felt uncertain. Think of a time when change brought unexpected blessings. Perhaps a new beginning led to a meaningful connection, like when my friend Tara lost her job, only to find a new career that aligned with her passion for teaching. Or maybe a challenge taught you resilience, like when a health struggle forced you to slow down and rediscover the joy of simple pleasures, like reading by candlelight or listening to the rain. Buddhism also encourages us to release attachments, a practice that can be both liberating and challenging. When we hold tightly to people, possessions, or identities, we limit our ability to grow, like a tree that cannot stretch its branches because it's bound by ropes. By letting go, we embrace life as it unfolds with all its ups and downs. I once clung to an old identity as the planner, someone who needed to control every detail. But when life threw unexpected changes my way, I learned to release that need, finding freedom in surrender. Embracing change doesn't mean you won't feel sadness or fear. It's natural to grieve what's lost. But by acknowledging those feelings, allowing yourself to process them, you can move forward with peace. During times of change, mindfulness can ground you. Focus on what you can control, like your breath or your next step, and break transitions into manageable pieces. Seek support from loved ones, too. Their encouragement can be a lifeline, like a bridge over a turbulent river. Practical steps can help. If you're facing a big change, write down 3 things you're looking forward to, no matter how small. Maybe a new routine, a fresh perspective, or the chance to learn something new. Meditation can also provide clarity. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and visualize change as a wave, carrying you to new shores. Change is a teacher, guiding you towards self-discovery and resilience. Embrace it and you'll find freedom in its impermanence, a freedom that feels like dancing in the rain, unafraid of the storm. A joyful life begins with caring for yourself, mentally and physically, a principle Buddhism holds as sacred as the balance of the seasons. Our minds and bodies are interconnected, like the roots and branches of a tree, each nourishing the other to create a strong foundation for happiness, resilience, and inner peace. When we prioritize well-being, we cultivate a harmony that allows us to face life's challenges with grace, as if we're a lotus blooming through the mud, radiant and unshaken. Your mind is like a garden, what you plant grows and what you neglect withers. Our thoughts are often tangled with worries, fears, or endless tasks, leaving us overwhelmed, like a garden overrun with weeds. Practices like mindfulness and meditation are like sunlight and water for your mental garden, clearing the clutter and fostering peace. Even 5 minutes of daily meditation, focusing on your breath or a calming mantra, can quiet the mind and create space for clarity. I once struggled with anxiety, my thoughts racing like a runaway train, but a simple practice of repeating, "I am enough," while breathing deeply, helped me find calm amidst the storm. I'd sit in a quiet corner of my room, close my eyes and let the words sink in, feeling my shoulders relax, my breath slow, as if I were floating on a still lake. Over time, this practice became a sanctuary, a place I could return to whenever life felt overwhelming. Self-care for the mind also means being mindful of what you consume. Just as you choose nourishing food for your body, limit exposure to negativity, whether it's draining relationships that leave you feeling small, excessive social media that fuels comparison, or distressing news that clouds your peace. Instead, fill your space with uplifting books that inspire growth, meaningful conversations that leave you feeling understood, and moments of gratitude that remind you of life's beauty. I once made a conscious choice to reduce my screen time, replacing late-night scrolling with reading poetry by candlelight. That small shift brought a sense of calm I hadn't felt in years, as if I'd opened a window to let fresh air into my mind. Caring for your body is equally vital, a practice that Buddhism sees as an act of reverence for the vessel that carries us through life. Physical health and mental well-being are deeply intertwined. When you move, eat well, and rest, you boost your mood and energy, like recharging a lantern to light your path. Simple activities like a morning stretch, a walk in nature where you feel the earth beneath your feet, or yoga can ground you in the present while nourishing your body. I started a habit of walking each morning, noticing the way the air felt crisp, the way the trees swayed, and it became a form of moving meditation, a way to start my day with intention. Nutrition matters too. A balanced diet with whole foods, fruits, vegetables, and hydration supports your body's vitality. Pay attention to how food makes you feel. Eating mindfully fosters a healthier relationship with meals. I began adding more plant-based meals to my diet, savoring the colors and flavors, and found that my energy soared, as if I'd tapped into a hidden well of vitality. Rest is just as crucial. In our fast-paced world, sleep is often neglected, but it's the soil in which your well-being grows. Create a bedtime routine, perhaps turning off screens an hour before bed, practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing, or reading a calming book. I started a ritual of sipping herbal tea and journaling before bed, letting my thoughts spill onto the page, and it transformed my sleep, leaving me refreshed and ready for each new day. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential, a way to honor the sacred connection between mind and body. Reflect. Are you giving yourself the care you deserve? Start small. Add one healthy habit this week, like a 10-minute walk, a nutritious meal, or a moment of gratitude. Your well-being is your greatest asset. Treat it with kindness, and it will carry you through life with strength and joy. Generosity is a cornerstone of Buddhist teachings, a key to a happier, more meaningful life, a practice that flows like a river, nourishing everything it touches. The act of giving, whether it's your time, energy, or kindness, brings joy to others and to yourself, creating a cycle of positivity that ripples outward, like a pebble dropped in a still pond. When you give without expecting anything in return, you cultivate abundance, compassion, and connection, as if you're weaving a tapestry of love that wraps around the world. True generosity comes from the heart, not the size of the gift, a principle Buddhism calls dana, the practice of selfless giving. Even small acts like a smile to a stranger on a busy street, helping a neighbor with a task, or sending a thoughtful message to a friend, create ripples of positivity that can change someone's day. I once met an elderly woman, Sita, who spent her mornings knitting scarves for a local shelter. Her hands moved with care, each stitch a quiet act of love, and she didn't expect thanks. She simply wanted to share warmth with those in need. Seeing the smiles of those she helped filled her with joy, a joy that glowed in her eyes like a soft flame. Sita's story reminds us that generosity isn't about what you give, but the intention behind it, a pure desire to uplift others, to share light in a world that sometimes feels dark. Generosity also fosters a sense of interconnectedness, a core Buddhist teaching that reminds us we're all part of the same tapestry, each thread linked to the others. When you give, you inspire others to give, building stronger communities where kindness becomes the norm. I saw this in action when I volunteered at a community kitchen. One day, I helped serve meals, and a man named Vikram, who had received a warm plate of food, returned the next week to volunteer alongside me. He said, "Your kindness made me want to give back." That moment showed me how generosity creates a cycle of positivity, a chain of compassion that grows stronger with each link. Giving doesn't always have to be material. Some of the greatest gifts are your time, attention, or a listening ear. I once spent an afternoon with a friend who was struggling, simply listening as she poured out her worries. I didn't offer solutions, just presence, and she later told me it was the greatest gift I could have given her. A reminder that she wasn't alone. Be generous with yourself too. Offer yourself forgiveness, patience, and care, as if you're tending to a delicate flower in your own garden. Look for ways to give today. Help a friend with a project, share your skills by teaching someone something new, or simply be present for someone in need, listening with an open heart. As you give, release expectations and savor the act itself, letting the joy of giving be its own reward. Buddhism teaches that this selfless giving helps us overcome selfishness and attachment, fostering humility and gratitude. Try this. Think of one person in your life who could use a small act of kindness, a colleague who's stressed, a family member who's feeling down. Then take action. Send them a message, offer to help, or simply share a moment of connection. Generosity breaks barriers, builds connections, and lifts everyone it touches. A force that reminds us that true happiness comes not from what we hold, but from what we share. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and uncertainty, a landscape of peaks and valleys that we all must navigate. Buddhism teaches that patience and acceptance are vital for walking this path with grace. Like a bamboo stalk that bends in the wind but never breaks. Patience allows us to face obstacles without frustration, while acceptance helps us find peace with what we cannot change. A dual practice that brings us closer to inner peace, as if we're sitting by a calm lake, watching the ripples fade into stillness. Patience isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about giving yourself time to understand them without letting them control you, like a potter who shapes clay with gentle, steady hands. Acceptance means recognizing life as it is, not fighting against it, a practice that doesn't mean settling for unhappiness, but rather letting go of resistance and finding lessons in each experience. I once struggled with patience during a delayed project at work, my frustration mounting as deadlines slipped. But I paused, took a deep breath, and asked, how can I respond with kindness? That small shift turned my frustration into understanding. I realized my team was doing their best, and together we found a solution. That moment taught me that patience isn't passivity. It's a form of strength, a way to approach life with balance rather than reactivity. In daily life, cultivate these qualities through mindfulness, a practice that anchors you in the present like a tree rooted deep into the earth. When stress arises, pause, breathe, and focus on the moment. Feel the air on your skin, hear the sounds around you, notice the rhythm of your breath. This pause creates space for clarity, allowing you to respond rather than react. I found this especially helpful in moments of conflict. Once during a disagreement with a friend, I felt my anger rising, but I took a moment to breathe and ask, what can I learn from this? That question helped me see her perspective, and we resolved the issue with understanding rather than resentment. Be patient with yourself too. Growth is a journey, and mistakes are part of it. I used to berate myself for not meditating perfectly, but I learned to accept that some days my mind wanders, and that's okay. Each moment of practice, even the imperfect ones, is a step forward. Try a simple mantra to deepen this practice. This moment is enough, or I accept what I cannot change. Repeat it silently when challenges arise, letting the words settle into your heart like a soothing balm. Reflect. Where can you show more patience or acceptance? Perhaps with a challenging situation like a delayed plan, or in your own journey like accepting that healing takes time. For me, acceptance came when I let go of a past regret, a decision I couldn't change. I wrote it down, acknowledged the lesson it taught me, and released it, feeling lighter, as if I'd set down a heavy burden. You can do the same. Think of something you've been resisting and ask, what if I accepted this as it is? These virtues free you from struggle and open your heart to life's imperfections, bringing you closer to inner peace, a peace that feels like a warm embrace, reminding you that even in the midst of challenges, there is always space for growth, understanding, and calm. Let's connect in the comments. If you've ever used mindfulness to find calm in chaos, type 1. If you're just starting your mindfulness journey, type 2. You're in the right place. And don't let this moment of clarity slip away. Subscribe now to begin your journey into mindful awareness with Daily Buddhist. Happiness isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a practice you cultivate, a gentle unfolding of peace and joy through the wisdom of Buddhism. These 8 secrets: gratitude, connection, mindfulness, purpose, embracing change, self-care, generosity, and patience, are like seeds you plant in the garden of your life. With care and intention, they grow into a life filled with meaning, resilience, and deep contentment. Let's reflect on the journey we've taken together. Gratitude, the first secret, taught us to see the world through a lens of abundance, finding joy in the smallest moments, like the sound of a loved one's laughter or the stillness of a quiet morning. It's a reminder that happiness isn't found in what we chase, but in what we already have. Nurturing relationships showed us the power of presence and compassion, like Lila and Arjun's story of reconnection, proving that love and understanding can heal even the deepest rifts. Mindfulness invited us to live fully in the present, freeing us from the burdens of past regrets and future worries, as I discovered by the stream that day. Releasing perfection for purpose reminded us that true fulfillment comes from aligning with our values, not chasing flawlessness. Maya's journey as an artist showed us the beauty of creating with intention. Embracing change as a teacher opened our hearts to impermanence, transforming uncertainty into growth. As I learned through my own life transition, self-care emphasized the importance of balance, nurturing our minds and bodies so we can show up fully for ourselves and others. Generosity, through Sita's story of knitting scarves, revealed that true joy comes not from what we receive, but from what we give. And finally, patience and acceptance taught us to navigate life's challenges with grace, finding peace in the midst of imperfection. These teachings, shared through Daily Buddhist, are more than ideas, they're a way of being. They remind us that peace isn't found by seeking, but by pausing, breathing, and embracing the present. Imagine a life where you wake each day with gratitude, connect deeply with those you love, and face challenges with calm and clarity. That life is within your reach, and your journey toward peace begins now. Before we part, take a moment to share your story. Have you experienced moments of unexpected calm or insight? Perhaps a time when gratitude shifted your perspective, or mindfulness brought you peace. Share in the comments. Your journey could inspire someone else. And if these insights resonated, share this video with someone who could use a little more peace in their life. Now let's bring this wisdom into your daily life. Start with one small step. Tonight, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Tomorrow, reach out to someone you care about, even with a simple message of appreciation. Set aside 5 minutes to breathe deeply and be present, noticing the world around you. These small acts are the foundation of a joyful life. Over time, they'll grow into habits that transform how you live, love, and feel. Buddhism teaches us that happiness is a practice, not a prize. It's in the quiet moments of gratitude, the warmth of connection, the stillness of the present. It's in letting go of perfection, embracing change, caring for yourself, giving freely, and meeting life with patience. These secrets are your guide, a map to a life of deep joy and peace. The wisdom you seek has always been within you. Now is the time to uncover it. Peace is not found by seeking, but by pausing, breathing, and embracing the present. Click subscribe now. Your path to inner peace starts here with Daily Buddhist. Let's walk this journey together, one mindful step at a time. Until next time, take care, and may your days be filled with joy and serenity.